I'm Congressmember Judy Chu. I'm so sorry the coronavirus pandemic has kept us from joining together in person this year, but I'm so grateful that you found a way to still come together to support human rights in Iran, and I stand with you. Today, we remember the thousands of political prisoners who were massacred in Iran in 1988, simply for having the courage to express their political opinions. But even decades later, Iran refuses to acknowledge the killings or even tell the families where their loved ones are buried. That is because many of those responsible are still in power today, and Iran's mullahs are continuing to oppress their people and export terror. In fact, just this month, we saw the cruelty in the inexcusable execution of Navid Afkari. The former Olympic wrestler was executed in secret after a sham trial. But he's not the only one. While Navid's case gained international attention, we cannot forget the thousands who remain in prison in Iran today, including over 7,000 arrested, detained, and tortured following last year's protests. And even as Iran battles one of the world's worst COVID-19 outbreaks, the mullahs have made it illegal to even share real data about the virus, making the situation worse. It is important that the Iranian people know that we reject this assault on human rights and that we stand with the people in their fight for freedom and democracy. We also need to reject Iran's support of terrorism and violence at home and abroad. I was shocked but not surprised to read reports this month that Iran's leaders had planned to assassinate America's ambassador to South Africa. This is part of Iran's long history of sponsoring terror attacks against U.S. citizens and officials, as well as against Iranian dissidents, including a planned attack in Paris. The Iranian regime must know that we oppose this violence and oppression. That's why I supported extending the UN arms embargo on Iran, and that's why I am a co-sponsor of House Resolution 374. This critical resolution condemns Iranian state-sponsored terrorist attacks and expresses support for the people of Iran who are engaged in legitimate and peaceful protests against the Iranian regime. This resolution has over 200 co-sponsors, which sends a clear signal to the people of Iran that they are not alone. The Iranian people deserve to be free from the harsh and violent rule of Iran's mullahs, and the world deserves to feel safe from Iranian support for terror and violence. I support your work to establish a free and democratic Iran that works with the U.S. and others to build a safer world. So thank you for all of your important work to promote human rights and a more free Iran.